looks like it's going to tear, which it probably will before I finish this. See that?
Yeah.
There's actually a number of those. Many of them have already torn. And the fact of the matter is, these represent special connections that actually drain into the cerebrospinal, into the dura mater from the actual underlying brain tissue. And they take cerebrospinal fluid and pump it into the superior sagittal sinus.
So what are those called?
They're called the arachnoid granulations. Okay? You're a great straightener.
The connections are.
The connections are the arachnoid granulations, and we're going to see what makes them in a minute. But I wanted to get through this first because this aspect in sheep, they're not particularly well done. And I'll try and find out some good photographs, find some good, I used to have a text that had really superior photographs. If you cut away the dura in this area, I'm going to do this one more specimen. I tried to do that here where I don't cut through the whole thing, but basically when you cut through it, if you do this in humans, you'll see all kinds of little openings, little pinholes right in here, which are the arachnoid granulations. It's not nearly as precise or well developed in sheep, okay? But they actually come through here and they pump this CSF into this chamber, and it goes posteriorly back into blood circulation. So the key here is that the dura mater completely envelops the entire brain. And that's significant because when you take it off like this and you leave the so-called naked brain, then you lose a major structure, which we talked about at the very beginning of the term. And here we can see that major structure. I'm going to separate these things out. This is a separate brain from a different one from before, but you see that this stuff that kind of looks like cobwebs on either side here, this is kind of webby stuff here, that's actually blood vessels. These are capillaries. And then you have this bean-like structure that's right here. See that? There, that's the pituitary. This is important because it has a very tenuous connection to the brain, but the pituitary is totally enclosed by this material. So if I remove the dura mater from the brain, invariably you rip this off. And so when you rip it off, you end up leaving this big hole here. Hole in your brain, okay? But it's really only because there's a stalk that covers this called the infundibulum. So if I look at these two brains, they're roughly the same, irrespective of size. And you see this one doesn't have a hole, but it has this little structure right here.
Yeah.
This is the infundibulum, what's left of it. And basically, if you look below it, it's going to break off soon. Huh?
Is that what taps the...
That's what connects directly to the pituitary.
Okay.
So the infundibulum, we talked about that in lecture, but it was just this faint line in the diagram. This is the real McCoy, okay? And so this is an important connection for hormone transfer between the hypothalamus and the pituitary, okay? Mainly the anterior pituitary, okay? And so to give you a sense of what that looks like in one where we've split the brain entirely, just sectioned it. In this one, remember that the dura is intact. I just cut through it like so. And so the structure that one sees, there we go, right here on either